When my daughter was first diagnosed with diabetes, one of the things that I really worried about was her not being included or invited like to sleepovers. She loves to be able to go to friends' house. We live in a very small town. Yes, I know I'm very careful about where I let them go, but I was worried that parents would really be nervous over having her. And I was just like, man, she's going to be devastated because she's just not going to be included. And I will say that's just simply not the case. The people that love our family have included her since day one. And I had to really let go of my fears and let her do these things, you know, where I'm comfortable. Last night she went to, so it's my first cousin and his wife. So I grew up with him and our kids are now the same ages. And she'll regularly go to their house and also to my brother and sister-in-law's. And I just appreciate the people in life so much that are not afraid to take her. So she went low around 1 in the morning. I tried to text her and ask her to eat a few peanut butter crackers right before bed, but she was already asleep. So I kind of was watching it, but around 1 a.m. my phone went off and I called them and let them know that she had an applesauce in her overnight bag. She likely wouldn't wake up. If they could just, you know, nudge her a little bit, get her to drink the applesauce, that should do the job. And I was just telling them this morning, I was grateful that they let me interrupt their sleep. And I was telling Raylan this morning, she's like, sorry, I just saw your message and I woke up. And I was like, no big deal. So I told her, no big deal. Uncle Bobby, I woke him up and he gave you an applesauce. She's like, he did? And I was like, yeah. Now, remind you, they only live about a mile away from my house. So first I called her phone. She didn't answer. Then I called his wife's phone. She didn't answer. And then I called my cousin's phone and he answered. But in my head, I was like, they're only a mile away. So worst case scenario, I'm going to go there and beat on the windows or something until they wake up. Luckily, I didn't have to do that. I try really hard not to make the parents nervous over it. Although Matt tells me I'm a little bit too much. So last night when I dropped her off, I was like, oh yeah, by the way, I don't think I've ever showed you how to use her glucagon. I said to my cousin and he's like, so I showed him like she carries 2. We have Gvoke, you know, you put this, it's like an EpiPen. The other one's the Baqsimi. You could just put it up her nose. And he's like, okay, like Narcan, right? He's a cop. I was like, yes, exactly. But I try not to cause panic with the parents because at the end of the day, usually her and I have it and I just need them as a backup. Like if I can't get her to answer the phone, because she is very responsible. And since day one, I've taught her like, you know, hey, let's try to learn as much as we can so that way you can go places and we don't have to rely on other people to take care of you. Moral of the story is 2 years ago, I didn't think it was ever possible to let her out of my sight. And I really wanted her to have a normal childhood. And now here we are. It's been nothing to worry about. The people that invite her are the people that I'm comfortable with because I won't let my kids spend the night just anywhere. I'm very funny about where they go and really they only stay with cousins and a few select friends that I know the parents very well, especially considering her condition. But it has been good to let her have that normal childhood. And that's been my goal since day one, is to be able to just let her have a normal childhood. So it takes baby steps and you might never be comfortable with sleepovers, but from mom to mom, just know that one day you'll feel a little bit more comfortable to give them the reins a little bit and let them have a normal childhood. And it is so important for them to live a normal life because diabetes is not a life sentence and we just have to learn how to work it into our lives so that they can be kids and have that great childhood that you had or that you want for them.